if you are seeing this video, I will say congratulations to you because I'll be posting more and more follow-up videos. So this is Stata. We're going to be uh, learning Stata, and I want to start with Stata for beginners. So if you are already familiar with Stata, this video is not for you, but this is basically for those who have not really done anything with Stata. So I'm going to start from the scratch, bit by bit, for us to really understand what Stata does, the various codes we can use to, give Stata command to do certain things. So today I will be, um, you know, just to understand Stata, like I said, and then if you look at my Stata, you can see that there's nothing in here. I just opened the Stata. There's nothing in here. So there are many things you can do. Maybe we're going to start with importing data, you know, into this Stata and then working with that data. So, but then I would like to use a do file which I already saved, and for us to do that is for us to go to file here, and I can open a do file. Um, so this do file, I named it for beginners. So we're going to be doing some things that I already have under this do file. So the first code I have on this do file is system use author. So what this means is if there's any already saved data set in the Stata system, you can give Stata command to make use of that data set. But there are data sets, Stata data set, that we can always open from this laptop if you want to do so. Just like I opened this do file, data set can also be opened that way. But then we're going to be, learning this so that we understand how commands are used to, give instruction to Stata to be able to open data set. So if I run this code, okay, this is a do file. I can run this code by, as I just highlighted this code, I can click on execute selection. You can see execute selection. Another way you can run this code is to press Ctrl D, which I usually do most of the times because it's very fast for me. Now another thing is that if you don't already have a do file where you have written down all your codes, you can actually type your commands here. Okay, you can type your command here. What you see in that do file, you can actually type it under this command box, and once you type and click enter, if you press enter, it will run the command. So what I'm going to do now is to run this code by pressing execute. So if I press execute, you can see it has executed this code. Okay, and that now gave rise to this data that we have here. You can see make, you can see price, you can see. So this is a data set about car, cars, make of the car, price of the car, origin of the car, whether it's foreign or domestic car. But that's not the issue here. So the major concern of this is for us to really understand how to, the basis of using Stata to do some analysis. Now, another thing is that if you do not, because if you are doing data analysis, it's always good for you to have a do file. And for you to do that is to click on this icon. Okay, if you see this icon, if you click on it, it will open a new do file. So if you have your codes, you can actually write those codes here, and you can see the one I opened before, the one I opened, I saved it with beginners. So this is a new untitled uh, uh, um, do file now. So I'm going to close it because we are not working with that. But for you to, it's always good for you to have a do file so that you save all your codes. You can run them together and then get your result. Another thing to do is to create a log file. This is a log file. Okay, you can create a log file. So this log file saves everything you are doing in this Stata. Okay, here you can create a log file and then save it. I don't want to create the log file, just to show you how to do that. So I can name this log file anything, and whatever I do subsequently here is stored under that do file. So that will help me to also track what I'm doing um, over the time. Okay, so that whenever there is any change, I can know where to. If I make any form of mistake, I will know where to solve the problem and the things like that. So back to the do file. So we have series of variables here, and of course I have some, description of what some codes can actually do. So this is mean price. So once you run this mean price, it will give you the mean prices. Okay, you can also see mean mpg and the rest of them. So you can run this code. Okay, that will give you mean price. Okay, so these are very simple thing to do. You can also use tabulate. If you run tabulate, it's going to make a frequency table. So tabulate foreign, just a name of the variable, but what this variable captures here is car origin, whether it's domestic or foreign, and you can see the various percentages. These are very simple thing. You can also make a graphical illustration of what we just did now. You can run this code. When you run it, you're going to see the graphical illustration of what the frequency already gave us. So this is another way to, present this data. Okay, and there's also a code called browse. The short form of it is BR. If you run browse, it's going to show you the various the data in a spreadsheet form. Okay, it's going to show you the data in spreadsheet form. You can see the data here. So that is what this one does. uh if I click clear, it's going to clear everything I have brought inside here. So you can see now that the data set has already disappeared because I clicked what, clear. Now back to the this thing. So I want to import another data set from my computer, and this is the code for that. Okay, so what we are going to do, this is the code which I've already written based on uh, uh, path. Okay, where this data set is saved in my computer. So this data set is saved under download. So let me, okay, now you can see download. Okay, and then you can see the various data set. Assuming I want to open this data set, okay, which is the one I have in the do file. So what you're going to do is to right click and then click on copy path. Okay, when you click on copy path, it gives you information about where the data is saved. Okay, this is the path we are talking about. Okay, now what you now do is to tell Stata to use this data set clear. So what this clear does is to clear any already saved data set in this Stata. So just to tell you how I came about this particular uh, code, okay? So what we are going to do is to first of all go back to your computer and copy the path where the data set is saved. So if I run this code, because I already cleared everything in this computer, if I run this code, it's going to bring another data set. You can see another data set here. Okay, so there are many things you can actually do. Okay, now I may also want to open another data set. There's a data set I named with sleep. Okay, I may decide to also open that data set. Now let me open that data set. So this is the one, this one, I can copy part also and come back to my Stata. What do I do? You paste it and then add use. So this video is basically for those who have not used Stata before. So this is not for those who have been using Stata, because I'm just going down to the elementary and the basis for those who have not used Stata before to really understand how this is done. Now, before I open this dataset, I may first of all want to clear the one that is there. But even if I do so, the clear command at the end of it, okay, will serve that purpose. Whatever that is already in the memory here will be what? Cleared. You can see. I will run the code. You can see another dataset has been what? Brought into this. You can see that. Okay, we have even more uh, variables here. Okay, so and yeah, you may decide to do some stuff there. You know, if you look at the data set, you have some variables here. You know, you can see some variables that we have here. So you can decide to do anything. And then there are other things you can do with Stata. There are things you can actually do. You know, things like you can decide to find a particular variable by describing it. If you do not understand or try to get certain information about a particular variable, you can use describe. Okay. Maybe you want to describe fatigue. Okay. You want to describe it. Okay. So you may tell Stata to describe this the variable, and Stata will tell you, give you some information about this variable. So this is the variable name, storage type. Okay. Everything about the variable will come out. You can also do something like look for. So if you are looking for a particular variable in a data set, assuming you are working with a larger data set that you may want to know if certain type of variable are captured in it, just by name, you can just say, okay, assuming you are looking for something like marital, okay, you can run this code, look for marital. I didn't get the spelling correctly. Marital, yeah. So you can run this code and it will show you there's a variable called marital, and then you can see how the variable is captured. So there's another code you can also run, assuming marital is there, because we have seen that there is marital there and the variable name is marital. You can use code book to know how this marital is captured. How is this marital coded in the data set? Okay. I'll be using Control D for running the code. I think it's faster for me. So I'm pressing Control D now, and then you can see how marital is coded. You can see numeric label. You can see single is what? 1. Married is what? 2. Divorce and what? Widowed. So you have 4 unique values, and the range starts from what? 1 to 4, and that's 4 unique values. So, and it's showing us that there's no missing data. So what you have here is 0. Okay. So these are the small things you should know about working with Stata. So you may want to um, make a graph bar, okay, of marital status. So I'm gonna do that. So what is have here is frequency and then the marital status. So it should show you the number of people who are single. So this graph can easily show you which one has the highest number of people, and we can see that those who are married is the majority here. Okay, so that's actually some of the things you can do. You can also do it this way. Another way you can do that, so you can see that here instead of frequency, you now have percentage. Okay, that's the difference between the two. The first one is count, so it counts the frequency, and the second one is what? Percentage, and it's still a marital status. You can also decide to tabulate marital status. Okay, and you can see it. This is the frequency table. Okay, so these are the basic things you can actually do using Stata. So this is age against age frequency, that is for histogram. So you can do this. Can use this also to analyze age. Okay, there are many ways you can, do this. So you can also do graph box. Okay, you can do graph box. So this will show you uh, interval, confidence interval, and then uh, the various percentiles, and then the confidence interval. So you can also use that to analyze height. So these are the things you can do, okay, using Stata as a beginner. There are lots of things you can do, but this video is basically for us to understand the Stata and what we can actually do with Stata. So in my next video, I'm going to be doing something, because part of the things we have actually done here is some form of univariate analysis. So maybe in my next video, I'm going to advance a little bit on some other things we can actually do with Theta, and then we continue to do so until we get to certain advanced regression analysis. So I will be doing more of microeconometric kind of analysis. So I'll be doing some form of IV regression, um, uh, uh, things like experimental kind of, regression, like difference in difference, regression discontinuity, and the rest of them. So I'll be doing more of micro econometric kind of analysis, rooted more on health economies actually. But for beginning part of what we are going to be doing with this data, I will focus more on like trying to get you to understand some of the things you can do with Stata, and how you can go about it. So, like I said earlier, all those commands we executed, we can actually do them here. For instance, we can type in clear here. So if I click enter, it will clear everything just like running a command. So, but the difference between doing it here and using a do file is that the do file gives you a storage, a written down, that is, the codes are written down, and it makes it easier for you to be able to do a very large analysis, and then being able to trace whatever you are doing in case you make any mistake, or you want to adjust your model and make certain kind of adjustment. So, but if you are doing it this way, of course, you are going to lose what you have done, assuming you do not already have a log file, saved log file. So I remember there was a time I was doing a regression. I was doing a very large analysis, and I was just doing it the way I just did this clear now. And I noticed that at some point I needed to, do some major adjustment to my model. So when I did that, it was very difficult for me to really start all over again. And when your computer suddenly stop abruptly, so we may have serious problem trying to get back at what we are doing before that time. So that's why it's always good for you to work with a do file. A do file will save you a lot of time, and of course try to start with a log file also, so that the log file will save all that we are doing. Okay, so that's all I have for you for today. I think the next video, you can wait for me on the next video. I'm gonna move a step further into some further univariate analysis, and of course moving into inferential uh, analysis, starting with bivariate and then moving into multivariate analysis. So stay tuned. We're going to learn a lot from Stata. Thank you very much.